Most Knoxville sellers ask me when the best month is to sell. And that's the wrong question. And asking it can cost you thousands. Hey y'all, hey. I'm Chris Ball with Chris Ball Properties at Keller Williams Realty. Right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're the #4 real estate team in Knoxville by volume. RealTrends Verified. Our sellers on average get a 1.05 list to sales ratio and on about 31 days on the market in every season of the year. Today, I want to flip the timing question on its head. Because the best time to sell your home in Knoxville is not a month on the calendar. It's a set condition. And once you understand them, you stop guessing and start controlling the outcome. Let's get into it. So, here's the reframe that changes everything. Most sellers ask, when is the best month to sell? The better question is, when is the best time for my specific home to hit the market? Those are two very different questions. A generic answer tells you that spring is usually active. True, but your best timing depends on your home's condition, your price range, your location, your competition, your buyer's demand for homes like yours, and how ready your home is actually to launch. I'll say it plainly. A strong, well-prepared listing in a slower season will outperform a rushed, poorly prepared listing in a busy season every time. So timing, it's not just seasonal, it's strategic. The goal is not to list your home when buyers happen to be active. The goal is to list when your home can capture attention, create urgency, and win the comparison against every other home competing for the same. The calendar matters, but strategy matters more. There are 3 factors that determine your best time to sell, and the month is downstream of all of them. The first is the buyer demand in your specific segment. The best time to sell is when the most qualified buyers are actively looking. And in Knoxville and East Tennessee, that demand usually climbs when the weather improves. Families plan moves around school, calendar, and relocation activity picks up. But here's what most sellers miss. Demand, it's not equal across price ranges. A $300,000 home, a $600,000 home, and a luxury property at $750,000 and up, each, they have a different buyer's pool and a different timing pattern. So base your decision on your slice of the market, not the season in general. The second factor is your competition. You're not just entering the market, you're entering a lineup. Buyers compare every home against every active listing in your price range, the location and condition, the updates, the photos, the layout, the perceived value. The best time to sell is often when fewer competing homes are available. When inventory is tight in your price, and when your home offers something that the others just don't. Less competition creates more leverage. And that's exactly why 2 sellers can list in the same month and get completely different results. One, they walk into a crowded price range. The other strolls into limited inventory and strong demand. The third factor is your home's readiness. And this one overrides the count. The right timing means very little if your home isn't ready. A well-prepared home in an average market beats poorly prepared homes in a strong market. Preparation means your pricing strategy, your professional photos, your decluttering, your clean, the minor repairs you do, the curb appeal, staging and your description, and your showing plan, and all your disclosures are all done before you go live. It's a lot, I know. Most sellers, they lose momentum because they rush to list before their home is ready, and that creates a weak first impression. Remember, the first impression happens online. Before a buyer ever pulls in the drive, do not list because the season fills. List when the home is ready to compete. Let me give you the real seasonal picture of this market. Because every season, it has an angle, if you play it right. Spring and early summer are usually the busiest. Buyer activity is high. The weather helps your curb appeal. Nice trees, flowers. Families plan around school calendars. And relocation buyers, they get active. It's an excellent time to sell when your home is fully prepared and price correct. The one thing to watch, though, is competition, because everyone in their mind thinks it's a great time to list, too. If your home doesn't stand out online, it can get overlooked in a strong season. Now, late summer and fall are still strong, but the market gets more selective. Serious buyers stay active. Some of the spring competition is already sold, and the inventory starts to get a little thinner in certain price ranges. The difference is that buyers are getting more deliberate. They take longer, compare more carefully, and they're more sensitive to pricing and condition. That's not a bad time to sell. It just means strategy matters more, and which everybody writes off can actually be an opportunity for the right seller. Yeah, there are few total buyers, but the buyers who are out there January and not casually browsing, they're motivated. They often need to move. And relocation buyers still need housing. Competition is usually way lighter. The trade-off, though, is that pricing, presentation, and easy showing access matter more than ever because there's less room for error. In winter, a home has to be easy to understand, easy to show, and clearly positioned. Here are the moves that separate a strategic from a hopeful. First, sell into demand, not just into competition. Most sellers list when it's convenient. The smarter move is to list when seller demand is active, but competition is still man. Sometimes the best win, it's not when everyone else lists. Sometimes it's just right before. Look for the moment when the buyers are active, but inventory in your price range is still limited. That's where the opportunity lives. That's what I mean by get ahead of the market. Do not chase. Prepare before the market peak. Waiting for the perfect month back. Because by the time most sellers finally list, inventory has already climbed. And the buyers have way more to shoot. The advantage goes to the seller who's ready early. If you want to sell in spring, your preparation starts before the repairs, the decluttering, the pre-listing consultation, the photography plan, the pricing analysis start 30 to 60 days before your ideal listing. The market rewards sellers who are ready before the opportunity arrives. And third, control your first 7 to 10 days. This is the window where your home gets the most attention from serious buyers and agents. Strong photos, correct price, easy showing access, clear information, and real marketing, fast communicate. A strong first week creates momentum. A weak one creates. Launching at the right time with the right plan beats picking the perfect month. And align your timing with your pricing strategy because they are not separate decisions. Different seasons call for different positions. Early spring may let you capture buyers before inventory arrives. Peak spring may require sharper positioning because competition is up. And late summer may need tighter pricing because buyers, well, they have more off. Fall rewards homes that clearly stand out against thinner inventory. And winter requires because the buyer's pool is much, but they're way more serious. Never choose a price in isolation. Choose it based on where you're listing and what buyers are doing and what's competing against you. Here's the last strategy, and it is the one that protects sellers from their own hesitation. Do not wait for the perfect market. There is no guaranteed perfect market. Interest rates change. Inventory changes. Buyers' demand changes. Your personal timeline may change. Trying to time it perfectly usually creates paralysis. Homes sell in every season when the strategy is right. Waiting can sometimes help, but it can also bring more competition and shifting demand and a tighter personal. Build that strategy for the conditions you're actually in, not the conditions you wish. And here's the local truth from someone who lists homes and sells them in this market every week. Sellers focus too heavily on the calendar and not enough on the ready. Spring can be powerful, but spring alone does not sell a home. A strong listing needs the right price, professional presentation, clear positioning, buyer agent exposure, and a launch plan that creates true momentum. Knoxville buyers are comparing across communities and price points all at West Knoxville against Farragut, Hardin Valley against Maryville, Carnes versus Powell, Oak Ridge. It all depends on their schools, their commune, and the value they. So the best timing is not really about the month. It's about entering the market when your home can win that when your home is ready, the market conditions are under, and the strategy is clear, you have control and safety. And that's how our sellers sell their homes for 5% more than they on an average of 31 days on the across every season. It's a plan. It's not luck. It's being proactive versus if you're trying to decide when to sell your home in Knoxville, West Knoxville, Farragut, Hardin Valley, or anywhere across East Tennessee. Do not start with a calendar. Start with a strategy. That's the exact conversation I have with my sellers before we ever pick a listing date. Let's get ahead of the market. Not reach me directly. I'm Chris Ball with Chris Ball Properties at Keller Williams Realty. And if this thinking about timing differently, do me a favor, subscribe and hit that bell because we put out West Knoxville and East Tennessee marketing strategies like this. I'll see you.